Well, it's named Martin, like I said, when snorkeling, going around the island, I didn't. When I was in high school, yes, I did. I did go through Jason here days ago, and it's changed so much since it's changed a friends who would come to the States, go to a game, and try to get shots. Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's still, when I tell people that I got to when I was here, they're kind of taking it because this wasn't something that you did very often. And, so yeah, I'm proud. I'm always proud to say that I spent a very formative part of my life. Also, and it's really a great experience. I'm really proud. Oh yeah. I'm the white guy. Yeah, you don't remember me, so you don't go out quite a bit. I think I
I'm honored to have my picture next to you in the.
Yeah, I was. Okay.
I cannot believe all things you also, that's the 77.
That's how old I am.
You're younger than me, so.
It looks like it. It doesn't. I don't think it is.
No.
It looks like a little bit.
I don't either, you know, looking at it. At first glance, it's good. We got a big surprise.
Yeah.
We have a big surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's been a secret. All right, yes, I did.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the University of Guam campus. I'd like to welcome all of you here for the special induction ceremony for our 2021 Triton Athletics Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Tim Stotts. So, first of all, I'd like to introduce some of our university special guests that are joining us, beginning first with Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Success, Mr. Lawrence Camacho. And then, of course, Mr. Doug Palmer, our Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse Director. I'd also like to welcome Mark Stotts and his family, and also Jane Phelps, who I just learned is a Triton alumna from 1971 in education, Master's in Education.
72.
72.
Masters of Education, yes.
Yes,
Wow.
welcome. It's always great to see our Triton alumni
Yeah, it's
coming back
always-
to the campus.
Oh, it's nice to come back. It's beautiful to come back here.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Okay, and so without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Lawrence Camacho to the stage for his welcoming remarks.
Do I really have to go up there? I'll pretend I'm talking.
Today, buenas, good morning. It is a beautiful day. It's always beautiful here at the university, to be honest with you. Even when it's raining and it's cloudy and all that, we see the wonderful smiles that come across campus and all that. And today, obviously, we're blessed with this beautiful sunny day, nice cool breeze. It's kind of coming through Manila. And as I sit there and I kind of reflect on my days here at the university, I'm reminded about why some of the times sometimes we have to do events such as this, and that is to reflect back on the life of the university, right? So next year we are celebrating the 70th anniversary of this wonderful institution called the University of Guam. Started in 1952. In 2022, we're going to go out with a bang and celebrate and reflect on the past as we look forward on how the future is going to be forged and what direction the university is going to be taking. But when we reflect on the past, we reflect on the wonderful people that have come through here, the wonderful atmosphere of learning and developing each other so that we can then contribute out in the community. And today, especially, we've been honored to pay close attention to and reflect on the wonderful things that the class of 2020 and this class of 2022 have done for the university. And I'm hearing that today we have up to 37 inductees into the University of Guam's Triton Hall of Fame. And as the Dean of Students, obviously you're very proud of that because you always connect student affairs to what learning is happening in the classroom, but that engaging activity that happens outside for the student athletes and all those students who are paying close attention to what's going on in the athletic world of that institution that they're supporting. And you know, Mr. Terry Stotts going to attest to this. When he was going to Oklahoma, I'm sure he had lots of pride for where he was playing for Oklahoma, going to school there. And And so we kind of reflect on what that goes on, how that goes on for the students that we have here. Now, as I reflect on the 70 years, a big chunk of those years, obviously from 69 to 74, during the time the Stotts family came on board here in Guam, and then eventually Frank ended up coaching here in 1970, and with Miss Jane Phelps right there on the side. This family then really kind of forged the direction of where the university was going through at the time, right in the early 70s. But then moments in between those years really kind of came up to the pinnacle of where we now end up having this moment where we could honor a particular individual who came through those years and actually contributed to the university with his own sweat, energy, and time. So I understand pulling Terry out of high school for the development phase, right there towards the junior year, because Mr. Coach Stotts, if you don't already know, he has advanced, right? He was always advancing beyond the years of those that he was peers and contemporary for in those great years in school. So coming here and actually playing for a year, leading the way here in Bio, how he took the team through his father's coaching and actually won an undefeated season, right? Came through an undefeated season and then take it off. Hopefully that experience has caused Coach Stotts to be the individual who had left the island and would come back frequently throughout those years up until probably the 1980s, which was when the last time he was here on the island. But through those years, perhaps his experience here at the university were the factors that could be attributed to his development through all those very storied and a successful career in basketball, from those college years all the way through the many leagues that Coach Stotts were involved in the U.S., in Europe, and then coming back and then coaching one of the teams that I personally did not really like at the time when I was a big Lakers fan, because they would always get in the way, right? So, but very honored to be standing here now and given this welcome remarks. I know it's a little bit wordy, but it's important for us to kind of understand where this has gone through for the university and for the individual that we're honoring today. And hopefully, as we reflect on that past, it'll guide us into the next generation of superstars that are going to come through this wonderful institution to be able to be good contributors back to society that we all live in. So with that, we thank you for you coming back to Guam, bringing Mom back to Guam, and being able to kind of reflect on those years. Those memories are going to be forever in the hearts and minds of us here watching and learning about this family. But at the same time, will continue to last forever if only this partnership from today on out could continue to last based on our experience here today by inducting you into our Hall of Fame as a star athlete and then being an exemplar to the rest of us, or the rest of the students actually who are watching and are going to strive to be at your level. So thank you for that, and we thank your brother Mark and son and family for bringing you and Mom back to Guam and having this beautiful day to celebrate as an institution such a very, very well accomplished individual. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lawrence. I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Doug Palmer for his Triton Athletics update.
Almost crashed twice today. There we go. Just turned 61 last week, and I'm starting to show my age. All right. This is the 5th class of our Athletic Hall of Fame. We're now at 37 individuals in the Athletic Hall of Fame. First year, it took me 2 years to find 6 individuals to put in the Hall of Fame. I had to work really hard. We had a men's soccer coach who won the first 3 GFA championships. His name was, I didn't know his name. Started asking around town what his name was, started asking on campus, never knew. I was literally sitting one time at a soccer, watching our team play, and I was talking to an individual sitting next to me, and then I go, well, I can't find out who the first UOG men's soccer coach was. And the guy was named James Whitby. Well, could be. I played for him. I was on those winning teams. Our senior vice president here on campus was Helen Whitby, who's been senior vice president for 10 plus years, I think. And nobody on this campus knew her husband, James Whitby, was the coach. So that was how difficult it was to find athletes, our coaches and athletes. That very first time I tried, probably the most deserving, at least soccer individual here didn't get in the first class because I couldn't find him. But then I was able to find him by the second class. But it's getting easier and easier every year. Actually, Gary, I heard Frank Stotts' name get mentioned a lot. Did my research. Frank Stotts and Hank Parker Jr. were two folks that really, Hank was more on the women's side, your father was more on the men's side, and both of them got into the Hall of Fame in the past couple of classes. But I had to do a lot of hustle to find those names. Then people, oh yeah, they're very good. So, but now when I found out that you was the most valuable player for us, it took us to an undefeated season, and that opened the door for another Stotts. The Bordens, we got 3 Bordens already in the Hall of Fame. I got to figure out how to get a radio announcer in to get the fourth Borden into the Hall of Fame. Or we got to get a grandchild soon that plays really quickly. But that's how we kind of started out. And I've been very proud to do this because what I want to do and what I've said a lot is if you don't have a history, you don't have really anything. And getting a history is what we want to do. That wall of fame that you guys will see as you're leaving today, I mean, we've done all the vaccines on this island, hundreds of thousands of vaccines. And we've had people passing that Hall of Fame, that wall of fame, every time they come in the field house. So they see our history, and hopefully, especially when some of the younger folks, hey, I would like to be on that wall someday. At one point, you didn't have to be students here to go to play for UOG. Now you do, but hopefully, playing athletics will help them with the smaller scholarship that they get, or they see somebody up there that Terry Stotts, he's an NBA coach. Maybe someday I can do that. So that's what we want people to shoot for. So this is a really big thing for me. This is what I'm the proudest of. We now have a Hall of Fame room, which you'll see is actually for UOG, and this old UOG Calvo field house is 40 plus years and it's falling apart. But that is the newest piece of real estate we got, and it is beautiful when you go in there and see it. Like I keep telling you, we got a surprise for him in there. Don't know if he's gonna like it or not, but we got a big surprise in there. But also that wall of fame is one of the brighter things that we have in the building that makes it shine. When I first got here, there was not a single athletic thing here. You walk in our lobby, you think you're in an athletic heaven now. So there's everything in there is athletic minded. So that's what we're really trying to do. But Jerry, thank you for coming. This has been a big day. For the 2019 class, we just did a video. And I thought at that point we would never, ever have to worry about not doing a live program again. But here we are out in the soccer field. Thankfully, it's a sunny and breezy day that's not too bad. But we've almost went 2 years without doing another class. And now we're caught up. And I already got probably 4 names for next year, and we'll probably do 6 to 7 people. And in the spring, we're going to do Hook or Crook. We're going to do the 1977 undefeated football team. We're going to have a Hall of Fame event for those guys. And then hopefully at some point after that, we'll do a basketball team. Maybe it will be the Terry Stotts team. Maybe it's going to be the John Borden team. He actually played undefeated football for a season that went straight into an undefeated basketball season, back to back. The heck, it could be that basketball team. But every year in the spring, we're going to start putting a team in every year. Individuals in the fall, a team in the spring. So that's our plan for the future, to get more UOG word out. So it's great to have you. I'm really proud of all the Hall of Famers, including 15 people today. We're up to 37. And probably in 2 to 3 years, we'll be breaking 50, and there's still a lot of deserving people that I don't even know about yet. So, you reporters out there know really good people that played in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? Tell me about it, and we'll try to get them in there. So, thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce one of our 2021 Triton Athletics Hall of Famers for men's basketball, Stotts. As the son of former UOD basketball coach and Triton Athletics Hall of Famer Frank Stotts, Terry Stotts played for the Tritons at the young age of 16, during a time when Triton athletes didn't necessarily have to be a UOD student. In one season that he played, he was named MVP of the Guam Basketball League and led the Tritons to an undefeated season. Stotts went on to play and coach at the professional level in the Continental Basketball Association and the National Basketball Association, recently ending a 9-year stint as head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. Coach Stotts played college basketball at the University of Oklahoma, where he was an academic All-American selection as a junior and senior, and an All-Big 8 selection his senior year. He earned a bachelor's in zoology and a master of business administration. He then played professionally for the Montana Golden Nuggets under the CBA for 3 seasons in the early 1980s, and also played professionally in Italy, Spain, and France throughout the 80s. He started his coaching career in 1990 in the CBA, moving to the NBA in 1992 as an assistant coach for the Seattle Supersonics, and later becoming head coach of the Atlanta Hawks in 2002. He also served as a head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks and as an assistant coach for several teams, including Dallas Mavericks, who team won the NBA title in 2011. Stotts led the Trailblazers to winning records in 7 of his 9 seasons as head coach. He took the team to the playoffs in 8 of his 9 seasons, advancing to the Western Conference Finals once and the Western Conference Semifinals twice. Overall, Stotts has a 517-486 record as an NBA head coach. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Terry Stotts.
You should be going. Hey, I'm older than you, so I want to thank everybody for being here, and it's quite an honor. It's when you get a little bit older like I am, and you start reflecting on what's happened in your life, and I've been very fortunate to have done a lot of things that he mentioned. Basketball's been very good to me. The old Saturday Night Live skit win, very, very good to me. But it's basketball has given me a chance to travel around the world, get a great education, make a good living, meet some unbelievable people. But the truth is, it started here on Guam, and I wouldn't have been able to do those things if I hadn't had the opportunity to grow as a player and as a person here on Guam. Dedido Junior High, my 3 years there, very competitive. I had some great teammates there who pushed me and made me a better player. Going to JFK and my sophomore year, making the varsity, and not being the best player, but being able to play with the best players was a great opportunity. But honestly, the things that happened in my life, and obviously everybody has, hopefully everybody has family to thank, but my mom and dad really gave me the opportunity to have a career in basketball. And when my dad and mom decided to take me out of school for a year, it was kind of controversial. I had just turned 16, withdrew from school from JFK a week later. And during that year, from December of '73 to the end of '74, it was a great experience for me because, as I mentioned, I worked for Pacific Daily News. I covered sports around the island. I played for UOG, and it just gave me an opportunity to grow as a person and grow as a player. So I think one of the things I'm most proud of being inducted into the Hall of Fame today is that I'm going in with a Hall of Fame that my dad is already in. And as I was mentioning earlier, I think my father certainly deserves to be in this Hall of Fame, but what he did with Guam basketball, beginning international travel and playing, rising the level of Guam basketball and recruiting players to come to UOG and play, that was, to me, that was the foundation of Guam basketball, and the players that played for my dad, Tony Suzuico and Joe Titano and Ben Lozama and Peter Sanchez, you just go down the list. That was the golden age of basketball, and I think anybody who's of my age or maybe a little older, the South Pacific Games in 1975, I didn't get a chance to play for it, but that was, I think everybody remembers that as one of the highlights of Guam basketball. Most of those players, if not all of them, played for my dad at the University of Guam. So to be inducted into the Hall of Fame that my dad is already a member of is a joy for me, and I'm quite proud of that. I would like to thank everybody for this honor. It's been 38 years since I came back to Guam, but Guam never left me. It's always been a part of who I am. I'm very proud to tell people that I lived on Guam, that I spent time on Guam, and how important my time on Guam was to me. And so obviously I don't have anything prepared, and there's so many people, but one of the things about this visit here is I get to not only reminisce, but get to see some of the people that I knew all those years ago. You were mentioning about that old building over there that's 40 years old. Well, it wasn't even here when last I knew. So that was a reminder too of how old we all are. But anyway, I want to thank the university. I want to thank the athletic department, everybody involved in nominating me and inducting me into this Hall of Fame. It's quite an honor and something I'll cherish for the rest of my life. So thank you very much.
I'd like to call Dean Lawrence and Terry to the Big G for the presentation of the plaque.
Big G.
Big G.
That's right.
G-Money.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. After our photos, Martin will be leading everybody on a tour of the Hall of Fame and the Wall of Fame.
This is Mark's son, Brandon.
This is Mark and Brandon Stotts' son and Sarah's son.
My granddaughter, Jane, is 3.
Don't tell them where you met.
Yeah. You can take a little step away from the Jeep right there. And then forward.
Where's Benny Diaz?
Show up.
He gave me the day, huh? Yeah, sure.